Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Sports Show where we love Seattle pro sports. I'm your host, Mikey, and we are bringing you another Seattle Seahawks 7 round mock draft. And we're going back to just doing it the normal way. I'm going to run the simulator, I'm going to see what situation presents itself, and then I'm just going to play off of that and see what we come up with. Again, we've done 21 of these like this. Not a single one of them have been the same. I expect this one's not going to be the same. Yesterday, when I was doing the Oops All Washington and Michigan players, the situation I've been waiting to come up almost came up. The player that I've been wanting to take at 16 just to see how it would affect the rest of the draft and how we feel about the draft overall if he was the first player that we took, went number 15. So he almost fell to us. We'll see if he ever does fall to us in this, and if we are able to make this happen and try this out and see if we would like the outcome if that's what ended up happening. So we'll see if it happens here. We're gonna start. We're gonna find out. Starting this mock right now, and we'll wait to see what happens at number 16. I can tell you right now, it did not happen. so let's take a look at what is available. Fuaga is available. Quinion Mitchell is available. Troy Fontenot, Amarius Mims, J.C. Latham, Johnny Newton, Byron Murphy, Jackson Power Johnson. They're all available right now. A lot of really good players available. We do have some trade offers, though. Detroit wants to swap 16 and 29 and R118 for their 61 and then send us just 73. Now, Philadelphia, they want to swap 16 and 22 and 102 for their 50. So we're not moving too far back for the pick. We're moving back 6 spots. And then we're jumping up quite a bit from 102 to 50 for that one. We're not getting an extra pick like we would from that Detroit pick, but 22 is not as far as back. 50 is higher than the other 2 picks that they're sending us for that swap there. So not picking up the extra pick, I think it was worth it, because I think at 22 there's still going to be some amazing players available, and because of that we might be able to make another trade. So let's accept this one from Philadelphia. Minnesota, they traded for that 23rd overall pick, and now they want to send us 23 and just give us 129. Arizona wants to come up. We're not even going to go through that one. Houston wants to swap with us 22 for their 42, R235 for their 59, and then just send us 86. So we are trading way back though for that first pick. Our other swap is, our 7th round pick all the way for a 2nd round pick, and then they are just going to send us a 3rd round pick. So they're trying to get as much value as they can. 2 seconds and a 3rd for our 1st and 7th. While I don't know, I think I want to trade with Minnesota here. 22. We're just moving back 1 spot to 23, and then they're sending us 129. And then I guess I'm willing to take that gamble to find out if Houston still wants the 23rd pick and would be willing to send an offer like that again, or am I going to stick at 23? So we're going to accept this offer from Minnesota because, again, we're not moving too far back, so we could still get like a really good player in this position. And then we're picking up 129, so that's what the beginning of the 5th round. So we're gonna take this one. I will say that Houston one was a little bit intriguing because getting so many picks in that 2nd round range, but we're gonna go with Minnesota here. Okay, Arizona still wants the trade, so their player that they wanted didn't get picked. Atlanta wants a trade now. Not quite as good, but similar to what Houston wanted. And now Houston coming back. Now they want to trade our 23 for their 42 and then our 118 for their 59, but sending us a second round pick for next year now. So not as good as what was originally there. And with what we have offered to us, and then let me see, what did I pick up so far? 23, 50. So we just have one second round pick, but at least we got one now. And then 81. Do I want? Again, the Houston one is still intriguing, but I just don't think that's enough value for what I want to get in this draft, though. Because I'm not in this one. I'm not picking extra. I'm not picking up an extra pick in this draft. So I'm going to reject all these, and we are going to stick with pick number 23 here. Lots of players available: Johnny Newton, Jackson Powers Johnson, Chop Robinson, Cooper DeJean, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Tyler Guyton. So a lot of top guys in here, but for me, out of what's here and just based on what we need, Jackson Powers Johnson, I think fits that. Again, can compete for that center spot right away with Olu Oluwatimi, and either way, whoever's winning there, we already know Olu can play guard. Jackson can also play guard, so they're basically they're both going to be starters. They're just fighting for which position they're going to start at. So I think this would be a really good pick at this spot. So we're taking Jackson Powers Johnson in this simulation, and then we're going to see what we get at 50. Trade offers that I'm not interested in accepting here. Okay, got some tough choices here now. Edgerrin Cooper is available. Cooper Beebe. Michael Penix Jr. is still available in this mock. I just don't think that's going to be the case. Anyways, I don't know if I'm interested in taking him here anyways because of what we have already and with what other players are here available and being able to fit, get a really good player and filling a need. I think that's what I would rather do here at 50. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker out of Texas A&M, one of the best linebackers in this draft. Yeah, and get a high-level player while also filling a need. Get some trade offers that I'm not going to accept, not too interested. Now, this one is tough. So we got our guard. We got a linebacker. Junior Colson is still on the board here, and I've taken him so many times because it just makes sense, right? To me, it makes sense. But there's a couple of edge players here on the board that make sense as well. I've taken Marshawn Nealand in a couple of these mocks before. I do not remember if I have taken Brandon Dorless or not. I am a big fan of Brandon Dorless. I think he could be a dominant type of edge player in Mike McDonald's system. We'll kind of look at what they say here about him. They have him as 6'3", 283 in here. But yeah, just go watch his tape, and you'll see the way that he just explodes uh, off the ball when it snapped, and the just the pure strength he has. Uh, you know that uh, Oregon's defense is actually one of the reasons why uh, they were favored to beat Washington both times. Obviously, Washington got the job done, but you have to look at that Oregon defense. They do have some pretty good players at certain positions. Brandon Dorless being one of them. So uh, again, for the sake of wanting to do different situations and see your guys' response to different players in this mock, I'm going to take Brandon Dorless edge, and you let me know how you feel about that. All right, and then our next pick is going to come at 118. We got a big trade from LA, sending us a ton of picks for 118 and the 154, 155, and 167 for our 118 and 2025 seventh round pick. But again, if somebody's really there that that LA wants that bad, I kind of don't want to give it to them because they're our rival. I don't want them to keep getting better, so we're gonna reject that, and we will take somebody here. Let's see here. Tyron Hopper still on the board, so then we would be able to get our other linebacker that we'd like to have. Mason McCormick here, Brandon Coleman here to get that guard player. But in this range, where we are right now at 118, Malik Mustafa is on the board, and I do not want to miss out on him. Again, I just think he is a safety that another one again because of his size, big, huge, hard hitting. Mike McDonald has says how much he wants everybody on the team to be able to blitz and to be good at it, and that is Malik Mustafa. He would fit that perfectly. So we're going to take him here at 118. Our next pick will be something that we picked up in one of the trades for 129 here. And okay, that didn't work out too bad for us. There's still some choices here. Such as Tyron Hopper still on the board. If we wanted to get a corner, Kyrie Jackson's here. Another again, Oregon defender, and again, edge. Historically, edge players and defensive backs in general out of Oregon have done well in the NFL. Kind of throughout history. Tanner Bordellini is here, but we've kind of already taken care of center, and that again, like, kind of explained how, Jackson Powers Johnson and Oluwatimi would be battling for that center and guard spot. So at that point, you would be thinking you have your center and your starting left guard taken care of. So we're looking at depth at this point. So I don't know if I'm wanting to take any of these guys for depth at those positions. I mean, Layden Robinson here as well. But for what we have available to us, Cam Hart's a pretty good corner out of Notre Dame as well. I think though where we're picking and what's available, again, we can pick up some more depth at our linebacker spot, and he is best available still at this point in the draft. I think that is a good way to go. So we are going with Tyron Hopper here. Tough choice because there was quite a few players that I liked in that spot that would make sense, but that's what we're doing in this one. And then we're at pick 179. Okay, at this point we are going to go. What where are we going to go with this one now? Josh Proctor, uh, Zion, Tanner McLaughlin still here. I we still okay. We talked about like filling out that offensive line for depth here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Ladarius Henderson, guard out of Michigan. So now we're filling out the rest of that room, getting people competing for those backup spots and making sure we have depth. It's so important to have depth across your offensive line. So we're getting it there. Now we're at 192, and because we're at 192, and we just want a good. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we got Ryan Grubb and his new offense coming in. We're going to take Tanner McLaughlin, so we have like another good receiving tight end that I'm sure Ryan Grubb can utilize, right? And then we're going to be picking at 235, and that 235. Let's see. Kamani Vidal. Some of you have convinced me to take him in other mocks, and now that I have, I am liking him more. And then especially, based on what we're looking at with the Seahawks current roster. They do have an open spot. They do generally like to carry 4 running backs, and they only have 3 right now, so that won't be a bad pick. Who else is in this range here? Darius Masau's here. Kyle Hergel, Gabriel Murphy. Yeah, there's some spots here. Jeez, make it tough. I am going to go with Kamani Vidal here, and he's going to be competing for that receiving running back role that Kenny McIntosh was, for whatever reason, not able to totally secure and get on the field very much last year, and then also competing to be the returner in this new kicking rules that we're getting in the NFL. So that's where we're going. You guys convinced me in previous drafts that I should take him late, and now I am starting to take him late. So we've taken him a few times now. So good on you guys for giving that suggestion, and I think having it work out often. So let's take a quick little recap of what we did here. Traded back a couple of times here, ended up with Jackson Powers Johnson. So I think if that ended up that way, I think John Schneider would really like that. Obviously, trading back a couple of times, and again, not overdrafting and overpaying for a center / guard. So that's good because we were able to make those trades. We got that number 50 pick, and we were able to get Edgerrin Cooper, one of the best linebackers in this draft. This one, I went with Brandon Dorlus at pick 81. I think he is, I think he's going to be a really good edge player. You're going to be able to see him rush, hit the power, but you're going to be able to see him, probably, it's like some of the times the defensive linemen do in Mike Macdonald's system. You'll be able to see him drop drop back in zone and be okay covering stuff out in the flat if he needs to. He's an athletic guy. Malik Mustafa, there you go. You already know, big safety, big hitter, can come in and blitz like Mike McDonald wants. Tyron Hopper, you're filling out depth in that linebacker room. Darius Henderson, again, depth for that offensive line. Tanner McLaughlin, depth for the tight end, but I could see him getting on the field and contributing in a Ryan Grubb system. Kamani Vidal, same thing. I can see him as a returner, as receiving down back, but actually getting in there and getting reps in Ryan Grubb system and taking advantage of that. So let me know what you think of this mock. What is your grade for this one? A, B, C, D, F. I'm realizing now that I am recording this one, and when this one comes out, it's going to come out on Easter morning. So happy Easter to all of you that are celebrating Easter. So I guess don't be too harsh on your grades, but no, for real, give me your grades. Give me the real grade. Let me know what you would grade this one and how you would feel about the players I took in this mock. We kind of, most of the time we do. I'm just asking you overall, how do you feel about the draft overall? But when you guys respond, I would also love to know about specific players in your responses, like why you would like a certain player or wouldn't like a certain player. Like, let's just pretend Brandon Dorless. I want to know how you feel about Brandon Dorless in general. Like, if he was the best player available at a certain pick, is he somebody that you would want the Seahawks to draft? What do you like about him? What don't you like about him? And would you want him as a Seahawk? That type of thing. Outside of just looking at how this draft played overall. I still want that overall grade, but I'd love to get some feedback on actual individual players and how you feel about individual players as well. All right, so leave those grades. Thank you for all those comments you guys are leaving. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button again. Gained a couple more subscribers today, so we're sitting over 150 right now. That's awesome. Definitely hit that subscribe button. If you're listening on a podcast version, same thing. Hit the follow button or subscribe button, whatever you're listening on, and then leave a 5-star rating and a written review, because that really helps out the show. Be found in the podcast version as well, and I really appreciate that. And thanks for listening to the Seattle Sports Show, where we watch legends awaken. So take cover, because with a sea of sound, you will see us rise to reign supreme and win forever.